Hi, and welcome to Mike McMillan's Info Product Earnings YouTube channel.
Well, I'm going to move very fast here, and to help you, I've put together a PDF file with each of the 25 topics I cover here, along with the time codes for each segment. And it's completely free, but the reason I've done this is so that tomorrow, the next day, next week, if you start using ScreenFlow and you think, oh man, I'm really stuck here, Mike told me how to do that and I forgot, you don't have to come back and watch the whole video. You just look up the title, the segment title that you're interested in, look at the time code, come back and watch this video and just scrub through to that point, and in 30 seconds you'll see how to do whatever it is that you were interested in doing. So I think that'll be a huge time saver for you. There's an active link in the description below this video, and the red URL down below also shows you that. So it's completely free. I also include a complete list of all the equipment I use to create my videos, along with all of the suppliers and the pricing, just to help you out. Now, ScreenFlow is $129. You can get upgrades from previous editions for $39, and they have a free demo version with no time limit, but it is watermarked. And remember, ScreenFlow only works on Macs. Well, first, where do you go to get ScreenFlow? Well, I have the URL listed here in the black box, and I also have a clickable link in the description below this video. Well, if you've just bought ScreenFlow for the very first time, one thing I would recommend, and don't worry about all the stuff on my screen, we'll explain that later, but over on the right, look how dark all this stuff is, and if you try to do anything, it'll have a black, dark background, and I hate that. So under Preferences, you can come in and change from dark to light, and see how it lightens all this up. I think it's a lot easier to work with that way. I wouldn't change any of these, but under Licenses, if you click this license icon, it will give you your serial number, which you would need to upgrade in the future if you ever want to do that. So just keep that in mind. Let's talk about setting the background color in a new ScreenFlow document. So I'll come up here to New under File, and I will click on this little icon right here, and this gives me a new document. The thing that I want to show you is I don't like to have a black background in general. I like a white background. So if you click on this icon, click on this little button here, you can pick whatever color you'd like, and I want white, so I'll click on white. I close this down, click on the check mark, and now I've got a new document with a white background. Okay, let's talk about doing a screencast in ScreenFlow, and what I would do is come down, click on the ScreenFlow icon, come up to File and New, and the only thing you need to do in here is right now when you start this up, it'll say built-in microphone. It'll record off the internal mic on your Mac. Now I have a blue Snowball mic set up that's plugged into the USB port on my computer. I want to record from there. If I click on the red button, it'll start recording. If I click on this, it will let me do a partial screen recording. You can resize this to any size you want, move it around, whatever you want to do. Then you click on the red button, it'll start recording. Now, what you can do is up here, you can either stop your recording when you're done, or you can click on pause, and that will stop it. If you come back, you can go get a cup of coffee, whatever you want to do, and then if you come back, instead of saying pause, it'll say resume here, and you can click on that, and your recording will start up again. Okay? That's how you get set up. Okay, let's talk about how to bring an image into a ScreenFlow document. This is a brand new document. There's nothing in it. So I have an image I created in Photoshop. I'll drag it right over into my timeline just like this. Okay, and I'll bring it all the way over. Suppose I want this image to show for 2.5 seconds at the start of my video. I drag it over here, and this is a little smaller than I want, so I'll drag it up there and I'll resize it, move it down, and there we go. And this image will show for 2.5 seconds then at the start of my video. Well, let's talk about importing a video clip that you shot somewhere else and you want to bring it into a ScreenFlow document. So what I would do is suppose that this is the document I'm working in, and I've got a video that I got on an iPhone, a smartphone, or a video camera, camcorder, whatever, DSLR camera. And again, I can drag this into my media library just like that, and then I can drag it down into my timeline like this. Now, I know you're thinking this is the cutest little thing I've ever seen in my life, and you're right. This is my granddaughter, and she is. So once you bring this in here, what'll happen is this image shows, and then when you play this, Okay, here's the video clip. Tell me that's not the cutest thing you've ever seen. Okay, and she's dancing at the hairdresser with her mommy, and so on and so forth. It's kind of a long clip, so what you can do is highlight this clip wherever you want to, and then just hit the T on your keyboard on your Mac, and it will split that clip, and then you can delete that part out there. So you can delete a clip wherever you want just by hitting a T on your keyboard, and then this will play for as long as you want it to. Okay, so that's how you bring a video clip into a ScreenFlow document. Okay, here's how to use a voiceover in your videos. This is the image that I've showed you before. I went to Fiverr. I hired a girl to do a voiceover. I sent her the text, exactly what I wanted her to say, and she created this WAV file for me right here. She actually did a number of recordings, and I'm just going to show you use the first one. I'm going to hit T, cut it in half right there, and I'm going to grab this image, drag it all the way over so it matches up, and once I do that...
Hi, and welcome to Mike McMillan's Info Product Earnings YouTube channel.
Okay, let's talk about adjusting your audio levels. This is from the last section, the image that I've showed you before, where I was talking. Look at the waveform right down here. Now, I can make this lower, where you can hardly hear it, or I can go up to 190%. That's exactly what I wanted, and that's much better. So to change your audio levels, you can just use the slider bar right up there, and that's how you do that. Let's talk about audio clipping. I've selected an audio file right down here. You can see this, and maybe this is something I imported or I created in ScreenFlow, but anytime you look at an audio file and you see red peaks at the top or bottom of your waveform, that means it got way too loud at those points. And what'll happen is it'll be like somebody took a knife and trimmed off all of these top and bottom peaks, and it ruins the dynamic range of your recording. So if you ever see any red sections in there, what you need to do is come back up here to your audio levels and adjust those using that slider bar. That's one way to do it, until you get acceptable audio levels, and that prevents clipping from occurring. Okay? Let's talk about adding text to your videos. Here's a little video clip you can see in my timeline. Right there, I recorded it somewhere else, and what I want to do is I'll move my scrubber bar wherever I want the text to appear, and I come up here, click on the T, click on the plus. That creates a text block for me, and I can make it say, you know, whatever I want it to say. I'll highlight it, say, "Hi, I'm Mike," and there you go. That's how you add text to this. Now, you can come up here, and if you highlight your text, you can change the font right here, you can change the size, the alignment, you can change the color. There's a black backdrop behind my text. I can take that out, but I don't want to do that because then it doesn't all show up. So I'll click on that and I'll keep my backdrop in there. Once you do that, let me grab the text that I added and drag it right down here. You can change the size of where your text appears. Now look at my scrubber bar right here. Watch what happens when I play this. There, my text appears. There it disappears. So you can make it last as long as you'd like. Okay? Okay, let's talk about using transitions between your video clips. Just watch this. Let's talk about bang. See how this popped up, this video clip right here? It just popped up. Well, let me come up here, and what I'm going to do is click on this speaker, and that mutes all my audio, so I won't be talking over myself. But what you can do is click on this little gear down here and click on Add Starting Transition. Now look at the difference. See how that turns around? It gives you a nice slow transition. Okay, there are all kinds of transitions in here, and you can pick any one that you'd like. Some of these are much better than other ones. You know, here's a different one. Okay, I don't like that. But you can go with all of these. To be honest with you, the ones that I like the best are the plain and the paper. I find those work pretty good, just like that. I like that. Okay, and then you can change the length of your transition, how long it lasts, just by dragging it right here. And then if you decide you don't want a transition there, you can come up here and click on Remove, and it takes it out. Transitions make a nice, smooth, well, transition between clips on your videos, and that's how you do that. Okay, let's talk about using callouts in your videos. Here's a video clip, and in this video clip I just showed a page from one of my books, and what I want to do is draw attention to this area right here. So I'll move my scrubber bar wherever I want this to appear, and then what I'll do is highlight the video clip. I'll come up, click on the callout button, that's that arrow, action. This will come up, say OK. And then there are three different types of callouts you can do. You can experiment with those, but I'll do a freehand callout right here. So I just highlight that section, and then I come down to zoom up, and I'll zoom up like this. And then what's going to happen is when this plays, watch my timeline. Here it plays, here comes the callout, bang, right there. See how it blows it up? Then you could talk about that, and then it goes away. You can move your callouts around, and you can make them longer or shorter, whatever you'd like to do. But that's how you use callouts in ScreenFlow. Well, in this section I want to talk about green screen effects, and in order to do that I'm going to have to cover two other topics as well, and those include detaching audio from video files and then syncing your audio and video files together properly. Okay, let's get started. Okay, just so you understand what I'm doing, I think it'll help you a little bit. I'm recording the audio with my H4n Pro audio recorder. I've got a lavalier mic hooked up, attached to my shirt. That's where I'm getting my best audio from. But I'm using a Canon Vixia camcorder I've set up on a tripod, and that's recording both audio and video, but the audio I get through the camera is not nearly as good as what I get through the H4n Pro. So just keep that in mind, and I'll show you how all that works in just a second. Okay, well here's the workflow I use in green screen recording. First I start my camcorder, then I start my H4n Pro audio recorder, and I have a lavalier mic going from my audio recorder up to the collar on my shirt. Then I clap my hands 3 to 4 times, I'll show you why in a second, and then I begin talking. Hey, this is Mike and welcome. I just wanted to shoot about a 10-second video here so I could demonstrate some green screen effects to you, and this should be just about long enough. So very good, let's try it out. Okay, well what you can see right here is the video clip I just showed you. I've disabled the sound in it so that I can talk over this, but that's me talking with a green screen behind me. Now what I'm going to do is come up here to my media library, click right there, and I'm looking for a specific image which is right here. Okay, and I'm going to take the image of this window, put it right under my video clip, stretch it out so it is exactly the same size. Okay, so here's the video clip of me talking. I just showed you that, and this is the clip right here. This is the image that I want to have behind myself. So I get those lined up just like I did, and when this plays it's still just me with the green screen. But now I'm going to click on the video clip, and under video filters I click on video up here, and on video filters I click the plus sign. The first thing it says chroma key, and I'll double click on that. Now look what happened. Now when this plays, that's me talking in front, and it looks like I'm standing in front of a window, and I'm really not. It's just that right here this is the background image, and with the chroma effect applied it looks like I'm standing in front of that image. Okay, so that's how you apply a chroma key effect to your video, and you can have any kind of background you'd like. Okay, so take a look at this video clip. Remember, this is what my camcorder, my Canon Vixia camcorder, recorded. Hey, this is Mike and welcome. I just wanted to... Okay, now I've applied that chroma key effect, you know, the green screen, and I've got that background behind me that looks great. So what I'm going to do is move this out of the way, though. Let me scale this down a little bit. I'm going to move this image out of the way so we can focus right here on just the audio and video file. Now this is what came out of my camcorder right here. It's the audio and video files combined. So what I'm going to do is come up here to Edit, come down to Detach Audio, and that separates the audio. This is the video part, and this is the audio part. So I've separated those. That's how you detach the audio from the video in a file. Now, what I'm going to do over here, remember this audio sounds terrible. It came out of my camcorder. I don't like it. This is the audio that I recorded through my H4n Pro audio recorder. Okay, and I'm going to line those up. It's exactly the same audio. It's the same file, but this recording device was much better than this one. So let's just come back here and let them play for a second.
Hey, this is Mike and welcome. I just wanted to...
See, they're not synced up, are they? And I want to sync these two files up because I want to throw this audio away that came from the camcorder and keep the one that came from my H4n Pro. So the way we do that, let me expand this out just a little bit. And here are the places, 1, 2, 3, 4, where I clapped my hands. And you can see I clapped my hands so I can see how to sync this up. So what I'm going to try to do is move these so that my hand clappings line up, just like this. And you can see right there, I'm going to expand this even more. You can see right there, they're pretty close. This needs to come over just a little bit more. So either there or there, and they sync up. Now one trick, this is called a nudge technique, okay? And I don't know where I learned this, but it's not in any documentation from ScreenFlow. So what you can do is hit the back bracket or the forward bracket. And if I hit the back bracket, watch this. It will move the bottom thing like the equivalent of one audio frame. See how that moved it back or forward? And you can nudge clips, audio or video clips, by doing that, and you can get much more accurate than doing it by your hand. Now, let's come back here and let's see if we've synced this up right. See how you're only hearing one clap?
Hey, this is Mike and welcome. I just wanted to...
There we go. So, this is exciting because this is the voice I got out of my camcorder, the audio I got out of my camcorder. I'm going to hit delete, and that is now gone. Now listen.
Hey, this is Mike and welcome. I just wanted to shoot about...
This sound is 1,000% better than what I got out of my camcorder. And now, if we come in here and grab that clip of the window and put it back in, now what we have is...
Hey, this is Mike and welcome.
We have great audio, we have good video, it's all synced up, and we used our chroma key to get this window in the
I
background.
just wanted to shoot about a 10-second video.
See how that works? Okay, so I showed you how to do the chroma effect with the green screen, how to separate the audio from the video, how to move images and videos in here, and then how to nudge using the forward and backward bracket to get these to sync up just right. So that's what you need to know about green screen recording. Okay, so one thing I want to do quickly is just show you how to use what we call annotations. And what an annotation is it's taking a clip. In this case, I've got an image that I brought in. I used this earlier. And the annotation section is this pencil up here. Click on the plus. And there are 5 different annotations that you can use. And you can change the properties of these. But for example, if I click on this arrow, what I can do is come in here, and annotations are used to draw attention to things. And I can draw an arrow, and I can change the thickness right here. So if I'm talking about this book and I want to draw attention to it, I could add like an arrow to it, okay, something like that. So I'll take that out, and then over here, suppose I could do another one. Suppose I want to put a box around something. I can do the same thing. And I can come up here and put a box around this to draw attention to it. And again, I can change the thickness to whatever I want. And I can also change the color and make it any color that I'd like it to be. So that's how you can use annotations to draw attention to different parts in your screencast. Okay, well, in this section, this is kind of interesting. We're going to talk about video motions because you can do a whole bunch of things using what they call video motions. And so what I'm going to do is right here, I have a clip. It's about 30 seconds or whatever. It's just me talking. The quality isn't very good. I just grabbed this someplace. And I've disabled the sound. I detached the audio and took the sound out of there. It's just me talking. Okay, so suppose that, let's scrub back here a little bit. Suppose that right at the beginning, right here, that, let me move this over just a little bit. Okay, so right at the beginning, I want to have this video playing with me talking for a few minutes or a few seconds, just like this. Okay, and then right here, I want to add a video action. Okay, so I come up to the video icon, I click on that, and then I click on my clip. Okay, it's highlighted the video section here. And now I'm going to click on Action. Okay, and it tells you how to do this. But so what I want to do is I want to come in here, and this yellow thing is my video action, and I can make it as long or short as I want to, and we'll try it something like this. Okay, and so what you do is at the start of the video action, I want it to be me talking, just like I am right here. But at the end of this video action over here, what I want to have happen is I want this video to shrink down so it's only about, say, this big, and I'm going to move it over so it's way over in the corner, just like this. So now when I play, watch, I'm going to start this and watch what happens when I get to the video action, that purple area there. Now watch what happens. Okay, see how it's shrinking me down? Now that is a little longer than I want this. I want this action to be a little bit faster than that. So I'm going to try it again. I've shrunk it down, and let's play this again. There we go. Okay, and it's shrunk me down, and I'm still talking down in the lower corner. Now, why would you want to do that? You obviously don't want a video with you in a tiny image way down here. But over here, I've got... let me shrink this down so we can see this. Here's some text, and I just made this text up right here. Okay, and suppose what I'm going to do, let me blow this up a little bit. And right at the end of this video action, I want this text to pop up. Okay, and let's see what happens with that. So let's play it again. There's no sound. There's my video action. It's shrinking me down. And now I can, while I'm still talking down there, I can explain some things, and I have some text pop up. So I could have, you know, a dozen different text blocks in here, one after another, and I can keep talking, and my text can come up and, you know, explain what I'm saying down there. So this is very useful because a lot of times this could come in very handy for you. So that's how you do a video animation. It's right here. And again, you can stretch this out and make it as short or as long as you'd like to. I'll move this back over. This is even shorter just to show you that. Right there. There's my animation. Okay, just like that. And then I have my text pop in, and that's kind of a neat technique. A lot of people use that, so keep that in mind. I think that'll work out good for you. Okay, good. Okay, well, let's talk about exporting your screencast. Suppose that you've got it all done, and now you want to export it so that it's an MP4 file, and then upload it to YouTube. Well, fortunately, Google has a page, and it shows you exactly the settings you should have for different types of files that you want to upload. And down here at the bottom in the black region, that's the URL. I've also got the URL in the description below this video. So you need to go through and read each one of these sections, and make sure that you know how Google wants your files to be uploaded. Okay, so let's take a look at how we can do that. Okay, well, let's pretend I'm done with this video. I've still got one more thing to do, but suppose that I'm done with this video and I want to export it because right now it's a ScreenFlow document and I can't upload that to YouTube. It's not a video file per se. So what I would do is come down here under File in ScreenFlow, click on Export, and there are some different settings. You can name this whatever you'd like to name it. Notice it'll be an MP4 file. And then all this other stuff is okay. Actually, my video is a 1280 by 720 pixel video. And then the other thing is under Manual, you should come in here, make sure it says Web High. Okay, there are all these different things. It needs to say Web High to export it to YouTube. And then 1280 by 720, that's fine. But then under Customize, there are some different options. Now, by default, ScreenFlow makes your videos 20 or 30 frames per second. You may have changed those settings, and if you did, you know, you can change that there. The data rate for this video with this size, I'm going to make the data rate say 8,500 kilobits per second. Okay, and then I'll leave that there. Single pass, that's okay. Automatic, that's okay. This is okay. You can make this 48 kilohertz right there for your sample rate. And I'm going to make this as high as I can, which is 320. And it should say stereo. And then you click on OK. And when you do that, you'll come back here, and then you click on Export. And it will darken out, and this export bar will move. Now it's moving very slowly because this is a large 20-some minute video, and this could take a period of time for it to happen. I'm going to click cancel because we don't want to sit here and watch that happening all the time. But once you do that, you'll end up with an MP4 file, which then could be uploaded into YouTube. Okay? Okay, well, it's beyond the scope of this tutorial about ScreenFlow, but many people use, and including myself, use HandBrake. It's a free open source video transcoder which can be used to greatly reduce the file size of their MP4 file before uploading it to YouTube, which makes it upload and process much, much faster. Now, HandBrake is found right here. Here's the URL for it. That's their little HandBrake icon right there. And you can go there and download it for free. And if you do that, HandBrake has many, many settings options. And I show you the exact settings you should use in the free download with the ScreenFlow timecodes offer that I mentioned earlier. There's a link in the video description below, but here's the link right here, and you get all the time codes plus a list of all the equipment that I use to make my videos, and plus this HandBrake tutorial. So I hope you grab that. And then seriously, this is the end of the video, but my very best wishes for tremendous success with your video projects. Okay, this is Mike. Keep in touch, and good luck.